This video is sponsored by Squarespace. In the late 1990s, Dr. Ken Otter, a professor at the University of Northern British Columbia who studies bird behavior and communication, was doing fieldwork just west of the Rocky Mountains with a colleague from a different university. As they walked around filling out their reports, Dr. Otter's colleague suddenly stopped and said, "Huh." "Huh?" said Dr. Otter. "Huh," said the colleague. "Your sparrows sound weird." So the doctor stopped to listen. "Huh. Yeah, that is weird. You see, white-throated sparrows, the kind they were listening to, typically sing a tune that goes... But these sparrows were singing... Weird, yeah? So Dr. Otter and several others did what any ornithologist would do and spent the next 20 years of their lives tracking the tune to see how far it would spread. By 2004, half the sparrows in Alberta had picked the song up. 10 years later, it had completely replaced the old one. They strapped geolocators on some 50 or so male sparrows breeding in Prince George and, as one does, tracked their migration pattern to see if they might be teaching the song to other birds they met while heading south. To Otter's utter astonishment, rather than traveling directly south, the sparrows branched out and crossed paths with birds in Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and even as far east as Arkansas, where he estimated the song was picked up by other birds who then took it back to their own breeding grounds. By 2016, the remix was sung by birds as far east as Quebec, and this year Dr. Otter and his team published their full study, mapping how from 2000 to 2019 the viral hit has spread so far and wide amongst white-throated sparrows that it has practically replaced the original tune, except it might not be accurate to call that first version the original, because for all we know, that was a remix of an even earlier version. See, it's only recently that humans have been able to extensively document and examine bird songs. Because tunes tend to vary from region to region, and the study of bird calls isn't exactly the highest priority for private or government funding, ornithologists have relied on volunteers to collaborate across the World Wide Web to crowdsource recordings for further analysis. Before the days of the internet, coordinating such a large-scale effort to consistently capture bird sounds across the entire hemisphere was pretty much impossible. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Austin, who cares? Birds sing, the songs probably change all the time. But not quite. It's true that birds will remix and switch up tunes a lot, but the overwhelming majority of the time, these songs are not picked up by other sparrows, and it's even rarer that the song it's remixing ends up being replaced. For some strange reason, this particular variation of the song is being learned and actively spread at a breathtaking rate, which leads us to ask, why? Could it be that, for whatever reason, the birds just like it better? Dr. Otter's research determined the new song isn't any better at warding off predators or attracting females. For all intents and purposes, its adoption is purely euphonious. So stoked I get to use that word. Sparrows from all over are obsessed with it, and nobody knows why. It's the first modern evidence we have of a new chart-topping hit in the animal kingdom, and it uses a sample. I can't stop thinking about it. Was there just one Kanye-like bird that lived near the Rocky Mountains who couldn't find a mate because all the other fly birds were better at hunting and building nests, so Kanye bird was all fine? Let me hit him with... And then some supermodel sparrow was all, oh snap, that's different, hey, what's your name? Then all the other male sparrows were like, what? So they started singing it too, but by then all the girl birds were like, you're just trying to be like Kanye bird. And then the male sparrows had to keep singing it because at that point it's like you're committed, you know? If you go back to the old song, they're gonna know you're a total poser. So hey, might as well take the song to your buddy in Texas because maybe he can use it. And maybe you're a bit of a skirt chaser and you know that hen from Oklahoma you've got on speed dial, she'll flutter her wings at anything. So you set out east to shoot your shot in America because, I mean, they don't call it the land of opportunity for nothing. This video is totally off the rails. Where was I? Oh yeah. There is one working theory presented by Emily Hudson, a biologist at Vanderbilt University in Nashville. She wasn't involved in Dr. Otter's study, but she reckons something about the tune may be easier to sing than the song it remixes, so younger sparrows would find it more popular and easier to pick up and sing for themselves, hence the total replacement. It's a solid theory, but the thing is, we just don't know. The science is still young. We haven't been documenting bird calls long enough to come to any clear conclusion conclusions, but we might be opening the door to a whole new world of animal artistry, creativity, collaboration, and even originality. I can't be the only guy fascinated by this, right? Hello? Anybody? The only real way of knowing if this rapid spread has been or will become more common is to continue studying and documenting the white-throated sparrow into the coming decades. I mentioned before that Dr. Otter crowdsourced recordings of bird songs for his study. In fact, he sourced about 1,800 in total. This amount of data and reference material, it was simply unheard of before the internet. You can get involved too. I've linked to 2 different sites in this video's description that document user-submitted bird sounds from across the world. Research scientists use this information to assist in their work. Who knows, the bird outside your window might be tweeting the next viral hit. Wouldn't it be cool if you snagged the first recording of it? It's show business, baby! Every songbird needs a good agent, so keep your eyes peeled and your ears open. The avian music industry is depending on you. Also, just going on record, quick branding thing. How you gonna have the last name Otter and decide, hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna study birds. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Fun fact about songbirds, the best have their own website. If you're a bird looking to take off on the World Wide Web, Squarespace provides you the tools to create a beautiful website in no time. Start by selecting from one of their many stunning templates, and then customize it to your specific bird needs. If you're a bird musician or a bird podcaster, their Audio Blocks feature makes the process a total breeze. If you have multiple social media pages that you're brooding over, their simultaneous posting feature will help you soar through the process all at once. Maybe you're a bird with a small business idea. Squarespace can help you set up an online storefront. You can get started today by pecking out squarespace.com on your keyboard to start a free trial. When you're ready to launch, fly over to squarespace.com/AustinMcConnell to save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain.